Well, good morning. I just had to show you a few of the blooms that have begun in our Alabama rose garden. This is a bloom of social climber. We have 3 shrubs of social climber that have now reached the top of our fence, and they're secured by several trellises and are blooming very nicely this morning. This is social climber. This is a rose called Daybreaker, very hardy, disease-resistant rose, and we planted a shrub of it in our garden just about 2 months ago, and I'm already seeing some very pretty blooms on Daybreaker. We've seen this rose several times this spring. This is Climbing Pinky, still just in a wonderful flush of blooms here in our garden. And then right beside her are Mary Rose, beautifully fragrant pink blooms of Mary Rose. 2 shrubs here. Beside Mary Rose is a very tiny shrub of Winchester Cathedral. It's a very small bloom, but this rose is gaining strength and blooms every day. This is Winchester Cathedral. We heavily pruned Buff Beauty. This very beautiful, fragrant hybrid musk rose early in the spring, and as you can see, it is now putting out a profusion of buds and blooms. Very pretty, very fragrant rose. This is Buff Beauty. Now, growing right beside Buff Beauty are 2 very large shrubs of Benjamin Britten. You can see that the fence is 6 foot tall, and these have already reached the top of the fence. Very beautiful, very fragrant blooms all over this shrub, and I tell you, it is a real winner in our garden here in the Alabama, in the deep south, where it gets very hot and humid. Once this rose got established in our garden, there's just no stopping it. Very beautiful, very fragrant, and quite disease resistant as well. Show you a view of all the roses in a row on our back fence. And what seems to be a little bitty rose here, this is actually Blushing Knockout that we cut very low and transplanted about 2 months ago. And as you can see, what was just 2 or 3 little canes is now once again very quickly a filled out shrub, and is just in bud and about to bloom. This is Blushing Knockout. We're back inside the fence where most of our hybrid teas and floribundas are planted. This is an unfurling bloom of Gemini, a beautiful hybrid tea, and we have 3 quite young shrubs here of it, and we're beginning to see some buds and blooms on Gemini. This is a new grandiflora in our garden we planted last fall. This is Cherry Parfait. We have 2 shrubs of it growing, and we're already seeing some blooms on this very young shrub of Cherry Parfait. This is a very beautiful bloom of Ronald Reagan, a hybrid tea rose, and as you can see, it is red with a white reverse, and it's just a beautiful rose to have in your garden. Ronald Reagan hybrid tea. As you turn and go continue down this path, I'll show you a new statue we have in our garden. It's an angel statue that we picked up and put her under the arbor that we have, and you can see the arbor at the top, and we've planted a shrub of Golden Gates climbing rose on either side, and they're beginning to take shape and begin their ascent, but soon the entire arbor will be filled with beautiful yellow roses. But we bought this angel, and do a little close up here. You can see that the bowl is in a heart shape that she's actually holding, and her wings are actually broken, which has a meaning, special meaning to our family. So we brought her home and gave her a forever place in our garden. As you can see now that our shrub of Rennes de Violettes has really taken off this year, and we're seeing just some beautiful, beautiful blooms of this highly fragrant hybrid perpetual rose, and mixed with the yellow blooms of golden celebration, it makes a very striking effect in the garden. Very beautiful combination. Of course, you see very many blooms of golden celebration this morning, and sort of spills out over this bench that our dear friends actually built for us from a Lowe's home improvement project pattern that was published last year. And it's very beautiful, fragrant blooms. If you're not growing David Austin roses, I want to strongly encourage you to do so. It's very, very pleasing in the garden. And planted right in front of these is a shrub of Autumn Splendor, a beautiful mini flora rose, and you can see have had quite a few blooms this week on this rose. This is Autumn Splendor. Well, we leave you today with some opening blooms of Betty Boop floribunda. Hope you've enjoyed this short garden walk and enjoyed the roses in our garden. I invite you to join us online at redneckrosarian.com or follow me on Twitter, Redneck Rosarian.